rubbish lah. Why did you throw the rubbish here?
I don't care lah.
Okay.
A little later. Meanwhile. Several days later.
Shampoo vamos a ver ahora. Oh my god. It's freaking amazing and gross at the same time.
Oh, fuck.
Now she's bleeding. What, is it a hookworm? How do you know? Can we actually...
Hacerlo, hay que hacerlo sin lástima, eso.
No, ese es shampoo. Vamos a ver ahora. Oh man! Show me please. I want to.
Moments later.
Hey Gita, you still here watching video? You no need to do assignment.
I do already lah. Hey, you see this video lah. See turtle with straw up its nostril.
You
Oh my
into
God.
this kind of thing.
No, you see how the straw is stuck to the turtle's
Why you got
nostril.
nothing else to do? You just
Walao, you drink plastic bottles some more. Did
wrong?
you just see this?
What's wrong?
It's bad for the environment.
But you just use it once, but after you use, because I
So
forgot to
after
bring
you
my
use this,
bottle,
what you do with it?
just throw away lah.
Okay, so when you throw away, you know that plastic is non-biodegradable, right? So I don't think you should stop using it. Do you see the effects? I just showed you a video.
Oh, so that's what's going on with the environment, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's so heartbreaking to see all these kind of things. But you know, it takes everybody to make this difference. Not only one person, everybody has to make the initiative to ensure that we all stop using plastic. So this can happen if we ourselves make the difference. And we have to start before ensuring other people start first.
I know it's because I forgot to bring it today. I won't do it again next time. But we are late already. Can we go to class now?
Wait. So we should all stop using plastic bottles and plastic straws and replace it with metal straws and other alternatives. Now we can go.
Remember to throw it in rubbish bin.
So, what is plastic pollution? Let me tell you all about plastic pollution. Do you know that plastic pollution is one of our biggest environmental concerns? And yes, we do understand that using plastic, it is inevitable to stop using plastic completely. I completely understand. And we all know that as the population grows, the amount of wastage, amount of garbage also increases as well. And this, for example, water bottles, soda cans can accumulate over time and cause damage to the environment. How will it cause damage to the environment? All the plastic gathered in an area will cause an effect to the natural environment, which is like the plants, animals, to human beings as well. And plastic damage causes water pollution, land pollution, and air pollution. Do you know something? Plastic takes about 100 to 1,000 years to completely break down. So the damage that this causes is very everlasting to the environment. So do you really want this to happen to us? What are the effects of plastic? Basically, plastic hurts what the most? Plastic hurts ocean the most. How does it hurt the ocean? It basically hurts our aquatic animals. All the animals in the ocean, plastic gives the most damage to those animals. And it hurts the ecosystem. And when it hurts the ecosystem, it affects the food supply for communities that rely on fishing. So how does this happen? When a small fish, for example, a plankton, eats plastic, so a large animal that relies for food on plankton, which eats the plankton as return, gets in the plastic in the system as well. And when big fishes eat plastic, and these big fishes will be caught and be eaten as our meals, for example, fish curry or anything, that these fishes will use, and these fishes will have plastic inside of them, which will be digested inside humans as well. And when these organisms eat plastic, of course it is a huge risk, because it brings toxins. And this will cause everlasting suffering and accumulation inside our body to have plastics. So a piece of plastic consumed can clog the stomach and also cause poisoning inside our stomach. So what are the solutions to ensure that we can reduce our use of plastic bags? So basically, when we go for grocery shopping, why not we carry along another bag that is not plastic to be used instead of using plastic bags and ending up throwing the plastic bag away. And also, when we drink water bottles, let's use reusable water bottles instead of the disposable ones that, as I said, we throw away just carelessly and into the dustbin and without any use. And we should avoid using go-to containers like cups and styrofoams when we take away food and things like that. And we should start using reusable containers, like bring our own Tupperwares to ensure that we will avoid using styrofoam and other plastics. And another thing that is very famous right now is the usage of plastics, the usage of stainless steel straws. Let's reduce the usage of plastic straws and increase our usage on stainless steel straws. So reducing, yes, I'm not saying that we should completely reduce the use of plastic, but if we ever find ourselves using plastics, why don't we recycle it to use it for other better things instead of just throwing it away and causing damage to our environment? All I can say is, even a small change in our day-to-day life can cause a big change to the environment, and this can help all of us reduce the amount of plastic waste to the environment and help us live in a better environment. I hope watching this video has gained a bit of insight on what plastic does to the environment and how we are all affected, and how this, whatever happens, will only come back to us at the end of the day. As the saying goes, what goes around comes around.
What is plastic? For most of our history, humans used stuff we found in nature to build the things we needed. But the invention of plastic roughly 100 years ago completely changed our world. Plastic is made from polymers, long, repeating chains of molecule groups. In nature, polymers exist everywhere. The walls of cells, silk, hair, insect carapaces, DNA. But it's also possible to create them. By breaking down crude oil into its components and rearranging them, we can form new synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers have extraordinary traits. They are lightweight, durable, and can be molded into almost any shape. Not requiring time-consuming manual work, plastic can be easily mass-produced, and its raw materials are available in vast amounts and incredibly cheaply. And so the golden era of plastics began. Today, almost everything is at least partly made from plastic. Our clothes, phones, computers, furniture, appliances, houses, and cars. Plastic has long ceased to be a revolutionary material. Instead, it became trash. Coffee cups, plastic bags, or stuff to wrap a banana. We don't think about this fact a lot. Plastic just appears and goes away. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Since synthetic polymers are so durable, plastic takes between 500 and 1,000 years to break down. But somehow, we collectively decided to use this super tough material for things meant to be thrown away. 40% of plastics are used for packaging. In the US, packaging makes up 1/3 of all the waste that is generated annually. Since its invention, we have produced about 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic, 335 million tons in 2016 alone. More than 6.3 billion metric tons of plastic have become waste since 1907. Piled up in one place, that makes a cube with a side length of 1.9 kilometers. So, what did we do with all this waste? 9% was recycled, 12% burned, but 79% of it is sticking around still. A lot ends up in the ocean, around 8 million tons a year. That's so much plastic that it will outweigh all the fish in the ocean by 2050. Because it's everywhere, marine animals keep getting trapped in plastic and swallowing it. In 2015 already, 90% of seabirds had eaten plastic. Many animals starve with stomachs full of indigestible trash. In 2018, a dead sperm whale washed up in Spain. He had eaten 32 kilos of plastic bags, nets, and a drum. While this is tragic and makes for great magazine covers, there's an even more widespread, invisible form of plastic. But just to make sure, we should simply ban plastics, right? Unfortunately, it's a bit more complicated than that. Plastic pollution is not the only environmental challenge we face. Some of the substitutes we'd use for plastic have a higher environmental impact in other ways. Plastic pollution is a complicated problem. We found a magic material and we had a really good time with it. But we need to be careful, or just like Midas, we'll end up in a world that we didn't wish for. Your individual daily actions still have a huge impact. What you do matters. Refuse disposable plastics. Convince your friends and family to do the same. Pressure companies and politicians to take the necessary steps to keep our oceans clean and our food safe. Together, we can beat plastic pollution.